I'm going to be talking about why I don't feel that ladies who are trying to lose weight should be tracking their scale weight as they are going through the process of fat loss. Now, this may be a bit controversial for a few people. It certainly may be a bit controversial if you've been someone who's been trying to lose weight for a long time and you've always tracked your progress by the scales. It may even be controversial for a few coaches out there who maybe watch this and are like, oh my God, what do you mean you don't track scale weight? What do you do then? I'm going to explain this now because for me, and I would be very interested in comments with this as well, by the way, if you are somebody who is trying to lose weight or you've been on that diet merry-go-round for years and years, you've always tracked your progress by the scales, drop me a comment on this video. Let me know what your feelings are towards what I'm saying here. I'm now talking from my own experiences working with ladies inside fat loss. My consultancy, the main area I work in, is fat loss. So this is coming from my experiences. I'm not saying that this is for everybody, but it certainly works for me and what I found over years and years working with many ladies. This is what works for us. Now, for me, when I start working with ladies and they come into my consultancy, the first thing I say to them is, right, we are going to take your scale weight at the start, then we're going to forget about your scale weight. We're not going to do anything with that until 4 or 6 weeks later. So every 4 to 6 weeks, I use progress photos with my ladies. I feel like that's the gold standard to go by with how they're feeling in their clothes and how they're looking. That's a gold standard for me. And we do that at the start along with their scale weight. Now, don't get me wrong, every 4 to 6 weeks, we will update the photos, which is the main progress tracker for me. And we will do their scale weight as well, just to give me some metrics to crunch some numbers. But for me, as a coach and a nutritionist, I don't care about the scale weights. And there's a big reason for that. For me, scale weight is one of the worst metrics for your progress. Scale weight fluctuates all of the time. Like, it never stays the same. It changes on a daily basis, let alone an hourly basis. When it comes to scale weight, what I find with the girls is it just takes them completely off track. They have been so used to tracking their progress by the scales that when they see those scale weight fluctuations, it completely stresses them out. They can literally wake up in the morning, they'll weigh themselves, and then a couple of hours later, once they've had some food and once they've had some drink, they'll jump on the scales again. And you may be watching this thinking, oh yeah, as if they do that. They do. Trust me, ladies who are trying to lose weight and who have had bad relationships with food and bad relationships with dieting, they will jump on the scales every couple of hours. I've seen it. It happens. So they will get up in the morning, weigh themselves first thing, and they'll weigh X amount. And then a couple of hours later, once they've had some food and drink, unknowingly they'll jump on the scales, not realizing that the scale weight is going to show more on there. They automatically think it's fat because, oh my God, I've had a tea cake this morning, I've had a creamy coffee from Starbucks, it must be a few pounds fat from that. And it isn't. And no, I'm not saying that kind of doing that reoccurring every day is going to help you in your fat loss journey, but what I am saying is what they are seeing on the scales is gastric weight. So it's gastric weight that's there. There's also other reasons the scale weights will fluctuate as well, through increased glycogen through your food, increased sodium through your food, which will hold water retention. There's many reasons why that scale will fluctuate and will fluctuate throughout the day. And for me, it just takes the girls away from what I call being process driven, like going through the process, working on what we're working for with them, with the plan, and stopping them looking at the scale weight stops the obsession. I find with the ladies I work with, once I say to them, take away the scales, I don't want you jumping on those for the next 4 or 6 weeks, I find that the ladies become more adherent because they become process driven. They start looking at the variables they need to be looking at when it comes to fat loss, looking at their overall energy balance, looking at nutrient density. It takes them away from sitting on that really poor short-term metric, which is the scale weight, because they've got more time to think about what they should be thinking about rather than the things they shouldn't be thinking about, which is scale weight. I find that the girls are more adherent. I find that it gives them more mental clarity, it stops their stress levels, because again, jumping on the scales every 2 minutes, there's going to be fluctuations all over the place. And I've had this before when we've come to the 4 to 6 week mark where we put more progress photos in for them, and I've had it before where their progress photos come in and they're changing body shape. You can see their body composition changing. For me as a coach, I'm like, brilliant, we are bang on track, great work. But when they jump on the scales, they may have seen no change in the scales, or they may have even seen a pound on or 2 pound on. Again, with that being fluctuation with the scales, what you also have to remember with the ladies as well is that they go through monthly cycles, right? So there's hormone changes as well. Now, what happens through monthly cycles as well is the girls can hold water retention. So a lot of the time they can see this and that can panic them as well. But like I was saying there, the girls will put their photos in, their body composition is clearly changing and they can see that it's clearly changing, but they're still fixated on the scale weight. it's like, oh my God, like the scales haven't gone down, or it's a pound on, like if I put fat on. And again, it's just that kind of belief system that they've built into themselves over the years from diet clubs, ultimately, from weight loss clubs, that ingrains that mindset of following progress and tracking progress on the scales, which is absolutely wrong. And it really surprises me when I'm the check-ins with the girls, I'm like, are your pictures different? Is your body composition improving? Can you see the change in body shape? Yes. Okay. Now look at your scales. There may be no change in that. You may have put a pound or two on, but can you see now how that is going to be water weight, or that is going to be gastric weight, an increase in glycogen, sodium? Basically, it's a weight fluctuation. Can you see that? And they still struggle to see it because, again, it's that kind of belief that they've had drilled into them over the years from weight loss clubs of having the gold standard of tracking their progress through the scales, and it damages them. So for me, taking that away from the girls, chucking them on the scales every day or even weekly, I don't like weekly weigh-ins either. I don't like it. Again, for me, a lot of the girls have gone through weight loss clubs. It's ingrained in them that, oh, my weekly weigh-in, and I just feel it creates a really bad relationship with dieting, so I don't like it. So I take that completely away from them, and we go every 4 to 6 weeks. But again, that's just metrics more for me. I say this to the girls, I'm like, that scale weight is more a metric for me than it is for you. I don't really care about that. What I care about is seeing your photos. What I care about is how you feel in that dress. What I care about is how you feel when you go out to that party or that barbecue and you're stood there with a load of confidence going, what's a new dress? And I feel like I'm in shape for this. I feel great, I feel confident, and I'm happy to be there, because these are big things. So for me, it's how they feel in their clothes. It's how they feel when they're going out and their confidence levels in front of their friends, in front of their partners. They're the markers that we go by. We go by the photos, we go by actual body composition and how they're feeling in themselves. And there's no way at all a scale can reflect that at all. All the scale weight does is take the ladies that I work with, and I believe a lot of ladies who are dieting, it takes them off track, it causes them more problems than it solves, and it's a really poor short-term metric. Don't get me wrong, in the bigger picture of fat loss, the scale weight will come down with it, but in the short term, getting the girls to concentrate on that is absolutely the last thing that I want to be doing with them, because I feel like it takes them away from the process and it keeps them less adherent. I guarantee it. Try it. If you are dieting, been dieting for years, you've never had success, and you track your scale weight daily or every couple of days, just try it for a whole month. Go, right, I'm not going to jump on the scales. I'm going to follow the process of fat loss and jump on the scales a month later. It will keep me more adherent. So that is what I do with my clients. We get rid of scale weight, and even every 4 to 6 weeks, when we do redo their progress photos and we do look for a scale weight, again, it's more for me. It's not for them. I don't care what that says. Again, if you are somebody who has been through or still going through dieting and you obsess over the scales, because it can become an obsession for a lot of ladies, if you're obsessed by it and you're watching this thinking, nah, I could never not do that, the scales gold standard for me, I need to be tracking that, let me know your thoughts. Drop me some comments. I'd be very interested to hear from you.